Hello. So just sit quietly. Allow people to join. So apparently there are quite a few people can't, or a number of people having trouble joining in. Hello, Nigel. So at least we are accessible. You are able to get on. Hello, Natalie. Yes, you found it, Lawrence. Yeah, I think Facebook are moving things around again, so it's just got a little bit. I up till 5 minutes ago, I couldn't find the Facebook Live. I had to go back to the classic version. Anyway, so just sit and feel the breath. There's nothing else to do at the moment, is there? It's about as exciting as it gets. Hello, guys. Hello, Wendy, Andrew, Sahida. Hello, you made it. James. Just going to take another minute and allow people to join. We don't need to. Thanks for sharing, James. If you would, guys, if you would just share this on your timeline for me. So we are going to have a meditation, and I'm sure people could do with it in today's world. So, hello, Angela, David. Hello again, Mindfulness Unleashed. Thanks, David. Yeah, I think it's the linen shirt, David. David said I'm looking good. I think it's the linen shirt. And notice it goes with the flowers. Did you see the coordination? Okay. I'm going to read something. Hello, Gemma. I'm going to read something, just a short something. I'm going to unpack it and then talk about the intuition. And we're actually going to do an exercise around the intuition. I'm going to speak to your intuition. Hello, Ian, you made it. Stuart. So for those of you just joined, just going to read a short something, unpack it, and then talk about a little bit about intuition, and then we're going to do an exercise. We're going to get practical. Hello, Ivana. So sit quietly. And you want to be sitting up for the exercise, so just to prepare you, and be sitting in a chair. It only takes a moment to breathe. A moment to be still. And just like that, something in me settles, softens, makes space for imperfection. The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper. And I remember again that life isn't a relay race, that we will all cross the finish line, that waking up to life is what we were born for. As many times as I forget, catch myself charging forward without even knowing where I am going, that many times I can make the choice to stop, to breathe, to just be and walk slowly into the mystery. So hello, Sue, Rachel. So I just want to unpack this a little. And if you missed this, you can go back and listen to it. It only takes a moment to breathe, or it says a reminder, but it takes a moment to breathe. It doesn't even take that. Breathing, we just tune into the breathing. If we tune into the breathing, we pause. We have an internal pause at least. Tune into the breathing now. That pauses you. A moment to be still. Now, I'm just going to stop there. What's happening at the moment is an enforced stillness, if you like. We're forced to be still. See, life promises us things. It dangles all its promises in front of us. We are forever moving into these promises, falling for the promise. It might be a holiday, it might be the bigger house, it might be a new job, it might be just going to the shops, buying a new linen shirt or whatever it is. It might be ordering from Amazon. Promises. I'm not saying we shouldn't do them, but they don't fulfill that hole that we feel. Okay? And just like that, something in me settles, softens, and makes space for imperfection. So right now, the world, from the human point of view, is very imperfect. We don't want it. From the point of view of life itself, it just is. So the world or life is both perfect and imperfect. Okay. But life is saying to us, this, I am in charge. You are not in charge. Life is saying, you need to change. Your picture of life needs to change to include me, imperfection. It's not what we want. So it's forcing us to accept that life is king. Life is bigger than our picture of it. We take necessary precautions. We all do the sensible thing. Beyond that, and we all want to know, don't we? We all want to know, when will this end? We don't know. How about we don't know? The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper. And I remember again that life isn't a relay race, that we will all cross the finish line, and that waking up to life is what we were born for. So often we're in such a rush running after these promises. And where does it get us? Exhausted. So what life is saying to us now is saying there are less promises. Let me put it another way. It's an enforced retreat. That's why we call it home retreat. There are less promises. You can't go out and see our friends. We can't go on holiday. We can't even book a holiday. It'd be silly to. So all those things we look forward to are being taken away. It's pulled the rug, and it's like, whoa, we're back with ourselves. So we have to learn to find pleasure in the simple and the everyday. See, I think we've forgotten the art of how to find pleasure in the simple, the ordinary, which is what life is made up of. A meditation, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes a day, it's an enforced retreat. We're not following all these promises of the mind. We're returning back home. Life has said to us, you're staying home in your physical home, your house home. And that enables us to spend time at this home, the body, with ourself. Ah. And the end line there, that waking up to life is what we were born for. So we wake up out of a dream of self-centeredness, that we are in charge, we are in control. Right, good luck with that one. And what we wake up to is everything, the imperfection and the perfection. They're both the same thing. From our point of view, it's imperfect. From the point of view of life, it's just life. It's perfect. We have to do what we do to protect ourselves. That's intelligent and wise. We do that. It's asking us to look, come back, look within. If we go into conflict against life, if we resist life, we go into conflict. Conflict is dis-ease, creates suffering. And this is a real opportunity to notice how we, in the moment, create our own suffering. It's not what I want. As many times as I forget, catch myself charging forward without even knowing where I am going. That many times I can make the choice to stop, to breathe, to just be and walk slowly into the mystery. And that word mystery, it's like we want to know, don't we? Where did the virus come from? What's going to happen to me? And when's this going to end? We want to know, but we don't. What's it like not to know? Right now, what's it like for this human being not to know? Now, I just want to go back to a sentence here. It says, the harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper. This is when we come back to the breath. We soften. Something in me softens, and the harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper. And this brings me to the intuition. We all have an intuitive self or voice, an intuitive side, and we all listen to it to varying degrees, but often it gets shouted out by the louder voices, because the voice of intuition is the whisper. It's the wise voice, the wise whisper from back there somewhere. And what the intuitive self can do, it can help, it can guide us in our life. If we listen to it, I'm going to give, it's very practical, the intuition. It's not some mystical, ooh. It doesn't live in the clouds. It has its feet on the ground. Please, if you don't mind, guys, please share this on your timeline. Go on, just show it out. And I'll give you an example from my own. There's lots of examples. This one sticks out. When I was living, I moved to Brighton many years ago, and I went round. I was looking for some new shoes. And I was looking around, and I saw these Italian leather shoes. I thought, oh, lovely, lovely. Oh. And I was getting, and this voice said, "Don't buy them. You won't wear them." Ah, yeah. Desire got the better of me. Oh yeah, no, lovely. The Italian, and they were leather and they were really nice, but they had very thin soles, and I don't like them. Don't like thin soles. I like some with some body on them to protect my feet. I bought them. Guess what? I didn't wear them, and I didn't listen to the voice. Just a very practical example, but that voice is guiding us in our life, and it's all right with not knowing. It speaks to us every moment. Sometimes in a voice, sometimes in a hunch, sometimes in a felt sense. It's what about? But because we are locked into the head, or locked into our ambitions, our desires, the outcomes of life, got our eyes on the prize, on the finish line. Running like hell on earth to get somewhere when we don't even know where. So this is a prime opportunity, and it's a shame it happens like this, but it's happened. We have to accept it. It's an enforced acceptance. Okay? So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to speak to your intuition. And I want you to speak back to the screen. Speak back to me. I can't hear anybody, but I want you to speak back. Okay? Even if you're with family, it doesn't matter. Just go for it. Just do it. And I'm going to ask the intuition a few questions. Just a few minutes. I just want to introduce you to it. Then I'm going to leave you with an exercise. We'll also have a meditation, a quieter meditation. So just sit comfortably. And when I ask to speak to the intuition, I just want you to shift in your seat very slightly. Okay. And just look at me and answer my questions. Can I speak to the intuition, please? Hello. So you're the self's intuition. Yeah. You're the intuitive voice. Yeah. Yeah. Are you around much in the life of the self? Would it be true to say that you are around all the time, but the self, he or she, is not listening all the time? Yeah. Yeah. What's your purpose in their life, in his or her life? Is it to guide? Is it to escort? Is it to advise? To steer? If he or she listened to you more, how would their life be? Yeah. Yeah. Now, how would you, or how can you help the self, help he or she through this period of being at home, of isolation? Do you have any words of guidance for them? Anything else? One last question. Where do you live in the body of the self? And how can they access you? How can they listen to you more and more each day? Okay. Thank you. Can I speak to the self again, please? So just move back. Just take a moment. Just pause. Just come back to the breath. So before we leave, I'm going to, in fact, I'll give you the exercise now. It's something, it's a way of listening to the intuition each day. So one way of doing it is you take a pen and paper. You take the pen in your dominant hand, which is my right hand, and you write at the top, hello intuition, or intuitive self, intuitive voice, whatever feels right. How are you today? Left hand, which represents the intuition, and you just write da 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 da. Don't try and write neat, just da 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 da. Then have a conversation with it. Are you around much at the moment? Da 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 da. Oh, okay. How can you help me? Oh, da da da. Do you have any words of guidance? Da 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 da. And you just have a conversation with it. And you must swap hands with the pen. You must put the pen in the opposite hand. So just respond to the intuition's response. And surprising what comes through. You can do this with lots of different selves. So please just share this, guys, before we have a meditation. And a few more might join us to have some quiet time. So sitting upright or laying down, it doesn't matter. You may want to close your eyes. We're going to have a pause for about 6 or 7 minutes. Rest in the body. How does the body feel? Remember, there's no finish line here. There's no destination. All those promises that the mind presents you with are all empty. Let them go. If we don't interfere with them, don't hook into them, they will pass. Feel your hand resting in your lap. And what's happening now? The breath's happening. Notice when we feel the breath, there's a softening. We harden when we go into the head. Feel the body. So we wake up. Wake up to now. That's all we have. So there are sounds happening. So we'll wake up to the empty promises of the mind. Oh, what about this? What about that? They're just thoughts, empty promises. They'll just disintegrate, evaporate without your attention. There's nothing to achieve, nothing to realize, other than the fact that there's nothing to achieve. This is life. This may be the sound of a bus. Well, there you are. It's more real than what's going on in your head. Just feel the breath as it comes and goes. So carry on with your eyes closed if you wish. I'm just going to round things off. So taking pauses during the day, and just like the poem says, only takes a moment to breathe, a reminder to be still. But something my teacher used to say, and he wrote a poem, which I may bring next time, called Life is King. And it's showing us that you're not in charge. You're not in control. And we don't like that. But it makes us feel a bit jittery, a bit anxious. Be with that jitteriness, we call it the anxious quiver. Oh, but I want to be in control. But wanting to be in control creates tension. And ultimately, it creates misery. We have to open to life. That's where peace is. Peace isn't in trying to control. It's opening up to life, giving yourself to it. Rest in the arms of life, of presence. There's presence here, an aware presence, the presence of your own being. Rest in that rather than the little ego mind. In Sufism, they call it rest in the arms of the beloved. The beloved being your own sense of presence here now. We miss it. We miss it. Oh, yeah, but the promises. Sink back. Okay. Please share it, guys, if you don't mind. I know I go on, but as many people as we can meditating and having a bit of quiet time and a few pauses. Thank you. See you Wednesday, 12:15. Bye.